Hey guys, what's going on? Hi everybody, what's going on? Listen, let's get into this. If you guys don't know, Beyonce's halftime show was it Super Bowl, NFL? Anyway, it was a Christmas halftime show. She did her thing and she put out Cowboy Carter. However, everybody is saying, where was Jay Z? You guys, in what was a show of force, Jay Z did this huge onslaught, right? People thought it was a death knell for Tony Buzbee. Tony Buzbee actually put up some really interesting things on his Instagram feed, letting him know, baby, he ain't Hollywood, but guess what? He's not scared. He put up stuff on his feed, letting us know that despite suing her husband, right? Tony Buzbee was in the stands watching the show. He said, let me see how you earn that money I'm about to take from the Carter household. They put the rules for the Buzzbee Agi suite. Okay. This is important to note because people are saying that Jay-Z is hiding. This is a stark turnaround. No matter what is printed in the press, no matter what anybody thinks, this is a stark turnaround from the bravado he showed when he showed up at Blue Ivy. It's a stark turnaround, especially because Jay-Z has a contract with the NFL. And more importantly, because Jay-Z's attorney has been throwing hell and high water, everything he can at Tony Buzbee. Now, when we say Jay-Z was hidden, we'll get into that in a second. You need to understand from optics. Jay-Z may have well been in that suite. He may have well been applauding. But the fact that he was not shown before, the fact that he was not shown after, the fact that they didn't do their usual photo shoot, it seems like whatever's going on, when they tried that mess at Blue Ivy's Lion King premiere and they saw that backlash, I mean, real talk, Beyonce was probably like, you ain't messing up my show. Go sit down, Hova. And I don't want to see not now one dread. I don't want to see not one dread on the red carpet. I don't want to see it in the before. I don't want to see it after. This is a market turnaround to the bravado that Jay-Z and his lawyer have been showing all week when they've been throwing the kitchen sink at Tony Buzbee. Now, listen, we got to put a few things out here, okay? This is not a celebrity stand page, and this is not a hero worship stage. I think it's important, and I've said it in the Diddy stuff, and I'm going to say it in the Buzzbee stuff. We have to start calling things like we see it. All right. Not for what we hope them to be, not for what we feel they should be, not for even what we think they should be. Okay. But we have, at least what I'm going to do, we have to look at reality. The reality is that this inch storm, this shit show, this dragging of this young woman who has autism in social media, we can lay that at the feet of Tony Buzbee. Tony Buzbee let his client go on a national interview that he should have known was a hit job. Tony Buzbee is so skilled, okay? He went on he let her go on a national interview. The story was not vetted. He said he didn't check the facts, and he said he's investigating now. Okay? The door, this Pandora's box, this shitstorm was because what Tony did. However, that does not in any way, shape, or form mean that anybody is innocent in the situation. That is for the jury to decide. If you guys are new to my channel, we actually found case law from the Second Circuit, a second appellate in New York State, Palooza versus the Archdiocese. And that was the way forward for the case to go. We also found the party planner and said, listen, and this is the way forward. Pay attention. You literally request right now, which I'm sure they're doing, limited discovery to get access to the party planner who we put in our live because we found on an old eBay plaque who the party planner was in 2003 that planned all Suars. You go into limited discovery. You get access to texts, checks, emails, whatever was in charge of party planning. You also get access to the people that worked at that party because the party planner will hire that. There's a chance you'll also get access to the guest list. You get access to so much more. Limited discovery is we know it's a party planner. We know you had a mansion, right? that was rented. We know. You cite the New York Post, New York Times articles where people are speaking anonymously, party planners are speaking anonymously. You go into limited discovery. Limited discovery will rip the door open. Once you do that, you set yourself on a 90-day calendar where you have 30 days to put in new motions. You have another 30 days to follow response. And then there's another 30 days for the opposition to follow response to. Once you do all that, you move it all the way into when May comes. May is expected his federal trial to happen. When Diddy's federal trial is happening, one second. When his federal uh when his federal trial is happening, you can then file like, Your Honor, just let you know, Your Honor this, Your Honor that. The point of the matter is not whether anybody is guilty or innocent. That honestly is for the jury to decide. The question was whether it would move forward, okay? And we were honest. And if you're new to my channel, the case law I cited and the way forward, even down to finding a party planner, right? The case law Buzbee actually used in this amended complaint. So I understand everybody wants to get on some rah, sis, boom, ba. I'm on this team. I'm on that team. I'm on the team of justice, but I'm also on the team of reality. And no matter how much I support, we can call a spade and say that was a big misstep. And the other side is exploiting it because it doesn't serve anybody to stick your head in the sand and just be in a vacuum where everybody's repeating the same thing. We need justice to be served. How are we going to war if we won't even acknowledge that the other side won a battle? How are we going to war if there's nobody doing recon to see what the other side is saying, what they're thinking, what they're feeling? Like, is anybody doing any type of strategic thing? And by anybody, I mean I am. But I'm being dead honest. Like, I don't understand how we expect to get justice and we're just going to sit there and half of the people are going to be like, I'll just wait until the courts decide. And the other half is like, you guys, this is going on and this might not be so good. No. How dare you? We're not going to listen. I don't think it serves either side. If you are actually trying to get to the truth, and even with justice, you must take on, and y'all do, right? I don't mean to sound like I'm lecturing anyone because y'all do this on the regular, but I think it's important that as we move forward, we must stay based in reality. The war is not lost. But there will be battles that are lost. And losing battles makes people spin out of control. Like, what are we doing? Tighten up. This is war. Tighten up. Tighten up. In the history of nowhere, no one ever has anybody had hundreds across the board. Tony Buzbee did a huge misstep. It was a huge error. It was a huge miscalculation. It was confusing because it's not worthy of the level of lawyer that his professional life tells us he is, right? That doesn't mean anything except that it was a mistake. Tighten up. And again, the course law and the way forward that you guys heard it here while everybody was saying the case was over is actually the way forward that Tony Buzbee is taking. So just keep that in mind. Coming one with reality, doing recon, seeing what the other team's saying, seeing where they're thinking, seeing where the moles are. That's how you're strategic and that's how you stay one step ahead, not by sticking your head in the ground. Anyway, right, let's get into this. Also, I do want to say it right now while I have your attention. Don't forget, you guys, there is a link in the description box. I did an amazing, well, okay, fine. It was an amazing article with the Hollywood Reporter. The great Shirley Halperin wrote it. It says about how YouTube is the new TV through investigative reporting, through true crime, but also the way that we are not beholden to legacy media because our views and everything is actually supported by the public and the people. It literally is crowdsourced. We can literally make our livelihoods, make our kingdoms, make whatever just based off bringing what we perceive to be our opinion, the truth, or whatever else. It is a great read. The link is in the description box. Please go look at it. It's been a good, right? It's been good. Listen, of course, the case has not been dropped. Do you guys know why that is? Because I was the first person to cite the case law to give a way forward. And you know what else? The way forward for the limited discovery and even going into set the calendar schedule, that's also going to be used too. So when you guys ask what's going on, I do believe my contribution is written in stone. That's all I'm saying. Again, you guys, if hearing that the other side got a victory sends people into a spiral, I really don't know what to tell you. You guys obviously don't watch. I mean, the people that feel that in the back, you obviously don't watch many great cases, court cases, or whatever. Some days are better than others. However, okay. However, right? However, okay. So for all these people saying, baby, my record speaks for itself always and forever. However, I do want to say that there was supposed to be, it was rumored, a Buzzbee surprise that was going to happen, much like what happened in Blue Ivy, right? Let's not forget that Jay-Z actually slipped up and said that he was accused by Buzzbee of raping little ones, male and female, okay? They were saying these lawsuits were going to be dropped during the performance to let a cloud hang over it, okay? That did not happen for whatever reason. I do believe that Buzzbee got smart and he realized that Alex Sparrow is trying to try this in the court of public opinion. Listen, people can argue, you can argue back and forth and gangbang in the comments. We all know this. At the end of the day, it don't mean nothing in a court of law. The only thing that matters is that the case is moving forward, and I was the first to give the game plan for the case to move forward, okay? That's all that matters. It don't matter. But when I say all this to say, it was very, very shocking indeed, that even though Jay-Z's team is spinning this as a huge win because they're putting in stuff, the case will move forward. It is plausible based off of all these lawsuits against Diddy, but forget about the civil lawsuits, based off of the U.S. Attorney's Office, okay? And what they're suing, it just has to be plausible. Plausible doesn't mean, oh, it happened, right? That's what everyone's doing, trying to try. Plausible means that on this reality, on Earth One, with the laws of physics, gravity, and all this stuff, there's a chance that it could be true. That's all you need for the case to move forward. It was never a question about whether the case was moving forward. The question was, could it get dismissed? This is the question that was at hand, you guys. It's very easy for frivolous lawsuits to go forward. Now, if I say I'm a green Martian from Mars, y'all could be like, ain't no such thing. First of all, you're not from Mars. Second of all, you're not green. Third of all, you're not a Martian. So even if there was green Martians from Mars, you've never been to Mars. So on 4 points, no, throw the case out. But if I say, right, 3 men with green hoodies broke into my house and then lifted up and I saw this person, right? And they damaged stuff. Well, that becomes plausible. Plausible means we don't know if it happened or not. That's for the jury to decide. But it could have happened. They were on the area. We all see them with green hoodies, and they could have done it. Let it go to court. That was never the question at hand, and they did a good job distracting everyone. The question at hand for that case to move forward, the question at hand that would have gotten the case dismissed, is whether or not her inconsistencies about, she said it happened in 2000. She said she talked to Joel, guy from Good Charlotte. She said this, she said that. The question was whether it could be dismissed because there's no possible way that happened. There's no possible way she talked to Benji Madden in 2000, because on the day of the VMAs in Video Music Awards in New York City Radio Hall, on that very day, I think it was September 7th in 2000, they actually played a show that night, right? They played a show that night. There was no way. And they have alibis showing they didn't fly into New York, right? There's no way. The issue was, on that night, did her dad drive her? Why? Because if they had proven there's no way this could happen, then the lawsuit could have been dismissed in a 12B dismissal. Just off the thing, there's no way what you said could have happened, right? That was always the question and issue. And that's why Pelusa, the archdiocese, the case law that we found was so important because it is pervasive, saying that even if she went on national television and gave the wrong story, when you are a victim of childhood SA, or when you even are an adult, but you have some type of cognitive impairment, in this case, she has autism, right? Then you can be fuzzy about the general details as long as you're sure about who raped you. Okay. That's because many counselors, many this, many that, all said it's all because of who raped you. Okay. Everything else can be fuzzy. They know that therapists, counselors, experts know that when you get into childhood SA, especially when it happens 20 years prior, much like Pelusa did with the archdiocese, this was abuse with a priest that happened 20 years prior. They don't, and he was off by like 3 or 4 years. And they were trying to do the same thing that Alex Sparrow's doing. Yo, he's saying it happened here, but that's impossible because it's off by 4 years. And you said it was Pope Baba, but it was actually Archbishop because it was actually Baba. They came and said, listen, the dates are a little fuzzy. The names are a little fuzzy. But one thing he's sure of is he was great. Because of that, we're going to hold these classes of people at a different standard than we would an adult that didn't experience this and doesn't have cognitive impairments. So within a 4-year time frame, it can move forward. Why was that important? Because with Pelusa, and you look at 2003, which, by the way, we were the first to actually do investigation and digging while Tony Buzbee was on vacation drinking his margarita and his legal team was flat-footed. We were the first people to find Pelusa, and we were the first people to also say that this fact set actually fits 2003, not 2000. Now, if it happened in 2000, okay, that's for the jury to decide. But if you move it to 2003, it actually fits pretty well. On top of that, we were the first to find that Diddy has a mansion in what is it? Bergen County, right? However, with Bergen County, it wasn't a point of when he bought the mansion. It's the point that he has very, very, very deep ties to that side of Jersey, which is the closest to Yonkers, which means that he also rented out mansions for his parties, because we know from the federal indictment, Diddy doesn't like having freak-offs in his home. Even the Star Island mansion was in Star Island too. He had 2 neighboring mansions in Florida. One was sleeping. The other one was for freaking. Okay. Now just follow me on this, right? We were the first to actually do investigation. And this was not even a week ago when everybody was dragging to find who the party planner was by literally starting to go through eBay and journalistic archives trying to find. Again, the question never was, will the case move forward? Of course it will. The question was, with this whole standard of Pelusa, if they didn't have Pelusa, and if that persuasive argument with the second appellate didn't work, then there's a chance it would have actually been dismissed. Again, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. All right. So with that, again, a lot of legal experts were shocked that Tony Buzbee would go after such a high-profile individuals with Alex Sparrow as the lawyer, because you know Alex Sparrow is representing the world right now. He's representing the second president, Elon Musk, right? The co-president, Elon Musk, that he would not let that person go there and actually give them the ammunition, because that's what started this melee. Prior to that, they were quiet. Jay-Z was sitting there filing anonymous complaints because he knew it wasn't a good look. But when they did that NBC interview, that's when they came with the wrath of hell. It was a misstep. It was stupid. It was sloppy. Listen, even the best sometimes misstep. It's not how much you misstep. It's how much you pick yourself up and dust that shirt off your shoulder, to quote Jay-Z. Now, let's get into Jay-Z missing. Even though Tony Buzbee was suing, and even though Jay-Z did an onslaught from hell, exploiting a mistake that Buzzbee made, right? Buzzbee showed up at the Super Bowl and he said, guess what? I ain't never been scared, baby. This is Texas. Buzzbee posted on his Instagram feed that he was in his seat for the Buzzbee Aggie suite, whatever suite. He posted the rules in there and he let us know before Beyonce took the stage that he was sitting up there right there watching her make all the money that he's going to sue Jay-Z for. He said, always make sure the 2 front row seats are reserved for Tony Buzzbee. Always include hot dogs, peanuts, and Diet Dr. Pepper from the catering menu. Yo, did y'all see? Side note, stop. Did y'all see that viral recipe? I haven't tried it yet. I'm thinking about trying it for New Year's, where you put Dr. Pepper. This is very unhealthy. So if you are on a health kick, don't do it. You put Diet Dr. Pepper in a crock pot and you cut up a lemon and throw it in there and you let that bad boy warm up and everybody's saying it tastes like heaven and it's the best thing you ever tasted. I don't know. I think I'm going to try it for New Year's. Y'all know I don't drink, so y'all gonna see me drinking my trailer park mulled wine. Everybody says that. Let me know in the comments if you actually tried it. I really, really want to see it. They say it is the best thing you've ever had. All right. Anyway, they said make sure to thank Tony Buzzbee for attending, but don't talk for too long. Selfies and photos with Tony Buzzbee are always welcome. Don't forget to tag him. Do not get too close to Tony Buzzbee if you have alcohol breath, bad breath, chewing gum, chewing ice, or gulp water. And then last thing he said was giggle. Anyway, y'all, listen. Tony Buzzbee also took this time while Beyonce to actually flex. There are pinned tweets to his Instagram now. I mean, pinned Instagram posts to his Instagram. Let me just show them, and then we're going to get into the thing about why they think that they're actually hiding. Hold on really quick. Hey, I'm on live. Can I give you a call back? Okay, thanks. Bye-bye. Okay. So anyway, y'all, it's Christmas time. I can't not answer my phone. You know I got family calling. Anyway, right? Tony Buzzbee went and y'all know I'll answer even if it's delivery guy. He's literally doing a little flexing. He focused on his Instagram where he posted a video saying at Tauca, Texas is the furthest you can get away from Hollywood. He also let us know that baby, he is dripped down with money. Buzzbee Leadership Learning Center, he actually financed for Texas AM, right? You know, you got to get some serious money. This huge building behind him was financed by Tony Buzzbee. He was celebrating the graduation of his daughter. On top of that, right? He's flexing. I have my Leadership Learning Academy. Baby, my pockets are long. If you know how much you have to invest in a college to even be able to build something, you would know that this is a serious old money wealth generation. Why is that important? Because Buzzbee made his money off of his legal. He has won billions. On top of that, this area that he's from is the part closest to Louisiana. That's why he has a lot. It's like a community of a rural community to the east of Texas, in East Texas. And it's right there by Louisiana. It borders Louisiana. I do think this is why Tony Buzzbee has so many clients in Louisiana, because it's right there next to his old stomping grounds, right? He then also reminded us, right, who Jay-Z thinks he's playing with, okay? There was a slew of articles that were written by The Root. I read one of those articles yesterday, right? But it was written by The Root. It was written by The Root and a bunch of other people saying, yeah, Tony Buzzbee doesn't know who he was playing with. Tony Buzzbee posted this saying, thank you for saving my life. And it was signed by Vince and Cheryl. I believe that's what it says. In any case, Tony said this: perched on the top floor of the tallest building in Texas, leading the most successful law firm in the country, not just Texas, but in the country, okay? Billions of dollars collected in verdicts and settlements, successfully defended a sitting governor and an attorney general in very high profile cases, successfully represented national governments, states, and even the late great Jimmy Buffett. Yet, this little note right here still means so much to me for all that. We love a humble brag. He let us know, yes, he made an error. Yes, it was sloppy. It was. It's not wrong with admitting your bad. He made a mistake. Yes, it was sloppy, but he is letting us know the game is not over. They might have won a little battle with that little media skirmish last year and flooding and letting it know what it does. But Tony Buzbee is saying, baby, this is a war, and he was not done. Now, interestingly enough, I do want to talk about that little skirmish they did last week, and then we'll get into the Jay-Z hiding part. Well, actually, let's talk about the Jay-Z hiding stuff. Then I'll get into that little skirmish because I did a live about the way Blake Lively exposes everybody. And in that lawsuit, you have to listen to the live if you have time. Fast forward to get to lawsuit, it rips the lid off the way Hollywood operates, the way Hollywood does this ecosystem. And when I say Hollywood, I mean money, entertainment, any money based off of that. What they do is they hire, let me put myself on the big screen because just hear this content. So everybody's always like, you go to Twitter, you see these like breakdowns, and you're like, oh my God, somebody did a breakdown about this. Yes, we know people do it for wording this and that. I do it. I'm gonna start doing that, actually. Start doing really, really deep dives so like all the different players. But what they found was this: there is a PR agency and a crisis agency. They're either trying to save someone's reputation or they're trying to destroy it, because to destroy it will save the other person's reputation. So I sue you for essay, and then y'all come at me and ruin my reputation. If my reputation's ruined, then the public doesn't believe that there was any essay. They did it with a lot of people. Amber Heard came out and said, guess what? The same media place that did this to Blake Lively. And again, I don't care what you think about Blake Lively. Listen to me read the court documents. I do a good job of breaking them down, I think. And you realize that everything you thought you knew about that campaign was a lie, and it was media manipulation, right? Amber Heard said it did the same thing to her. Drake uses that PR firm, okay? But what they do is they have a network of legacy media, like, the New York Post, Us Weekly, In Touch, TMZ, all these places, right? The Today Show, places on NBC. They have a bunch of contacts. The PR people and the crisis control people actually write the articles pretty much and give them to people to plant in various legacy media that we trust, right? And then when they plant them, let me just move this back real quick. Then when they plant them, they then have a bunch of bots, a bunch of Twitter articles. They even have this one agency that has a bunch of TikTokers, YouTubes, Twitter people on payroll, that when they come, they then say, oh, okay, they posted it, bet. And then they start retweeting it. And then social media starts adding 10 on 20, but it's not 10 on 20 from just regular people. It's basically what the PR firm wants people to believe. It is a whole ecosystem. They use bots. They use legacy media. They use paid people that you trust to get their narrative out. How can you tell? Because they're all on the same narrative and they do it consistently. It's not just one article. They do it consistently, more and more and more and more, right? Now, I know with that's what they do. And it's always been suspected. I've always said that, but there's actual proof in a lawsuit of what is going on. Now, I'm not saying Jay-Z did that. Far be it from me. I am saying that there was a flurry of articles, a flurry of bots, a flurry of this and that, moving the narrative. Tony Buzbee did what was smart. He could have fought them in the media. Instead, he hunkered down and he took them to the court of law, because at the end of the day, it did seem like intimidation tactics. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who, what, where, what, or what any of us say on social media. All you have to do is get it in front of the jury. If you get it in front of the jury, there's only two things that are going to happen. Buzbee's going to win, right? Or Jay-Z's going to win. And then when he wins, he can sue Buzbee for defamation. Well, the client for defamation. He can also sue for damages that actually came from. He is suing Buzbee for defamation right now. But again, I don't know how a client is sorry guys. I don't know how a client is actually defamation when you say what your client told you and defend her vigorously. And if you're suing Buzzbee for defamation, then I'm sure Buzzbee can countersue you for defamation because Jay-Z said a lot of defamatory things too. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's where we are in that. And I just found it really funny that now that it's coming to light, you can actually, so Blake Lively is actually suing them for that, right? Because it's actually illegal. They call it astroturfing. It's actually illegal to present ideas and thoughts as your own when they're being paid for or funded or encouraged by a secret organization. I can say for my channel, baby, as you can tell, we are 100% independent. We do not we're just 100% independent. We're 100% legit. No, we would never. We don't need to at all. You see in the figures, we doing fine. We actually don't need to, right? But there is a whole company that specializes in that. Okay. Now, why is that important? Because at the same time, when we get into the fact of is Jay-Z in hiding, there's something else going on that nobody wants to talk about. And again, I just want to let you know what's going on. So we have the Blake Lively lawsuit where they've exposed the industry for what they're doing. Okay. We have the lawsuits that they're throwing at Tony Buzbee. However, one thing that the news hasn't covered is that Tony Buzbee actually did a lawsuit against Quinn Emanuel and Marcy someone saying that they engaged in illegal things, trying to dig up dirt, trying to get people to do this, trying to get people that. They actually paid people and they have them on video. I do believe Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, came out and said, we haven't paid any investigators. We haven't paid anyone, where they had them on tape saying, yo, we're working for them. Buzzbee's going down. Can we see your legal documents? Yo, we can get money for it. And they're actually paying people to file lawsuits against Tony Buzbee. So that's going on, right? But there's another third thing that's going on too. Jay-Z and Beyonce, I believe, I do not know their private wealth, but if I had to guess, Beyonce's major money, of course, she's Beyonce, right? Right? Jay-Z has the NFL deal, which, okay, is lucrative, but you got to go through Live Nation and they live the lifestyle of billionaires. So even though that's cute and that'd be like a blessing for most of us, it's, it's more money in the pot. I believe the bulk of Jay-Z's well, I don't want to say the bulk of his assets because I wouldn't know. They have a very lucrative contract with Moet and Chandon. It is a very, very lucrative contract for Ace of Spades and for Beyonce, Sir Carter. If you guys didn't watch my video, I'm going to break it down for you really quick. Over in France, they have this deal with LVHM. That's Arnott's. That's, they own like 80%. They owned 80% of the world's luxury goods. They own Sephora. They are most luxury goods. They also, their alcohol and beverage branch is Moet and Chandon. Moet and Chandon, okay, has 50-50 partnerships with Jay-Z and Beyonce. This is highly lucrative. They are the world's biggest liquor distributor. And it don't matter how good your liquor is, you need a distributor for you to get into bars, restaurants, and put them on the shelf. And once that happens, it trickles down into being into liquor stores, state stores, whatever you have. If you have Moet and Chandon, sometimes you can even skip the bar part and just, not skip, but fast forward past that and go into, hold on really quick. Hey, hold on. Hey, I'm on live. Can I call you back? What's going on? Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. I just got some new tea. I'll put that in a different video. Got nothing to do with this, right? In any case, right? The whole point of the matter is Moet and Chandon, the dream is to get in bars and restaurants so you can get into liquor stores. They get you all that in one swoop. They run like so much of the upscale market, the Ace of Spades, the Moet Chandon, all that stuff. They're all owned by the same people. There's been an internal war going on. Arnott's, it's family run business, right? It's family owned. His son believes in Jay-Z and Beyonce. They're the ones that did that partnership with Beyonce, and I believe the partnership with Jay-Z. Okay. It is a 50-50 partnership. It is super lucrative. Okay. It's actually more lucrative than what Diddy had with Ciroc, because Diddy was only making 60 million a year for like a paid influencer. They actually get 50% of all profits. It's huge. Okay. So at that time that all this is going on and that lawsuit hits, they have their Moet and Chandon contract. The only problem is all luxury goods have been down this year, and they bought in a new CEO for the liquor part of LVHM, which is Moet and Chandon, the distributor, the placer, this and that. They bought in a new CEO. The new CEO never wanted to do business with Jay-Z and Beyonce. They didn't think, he didn't ever think they were the right type of people, if you know what I'm saying. Exactly. So they had that going on. Okay. However, once this Buzzbee thing hit, and I don't know how Buzzbee would know this, because this is deep fashion industry tea. And for those of y'all thinking that this is just idle gossip, it is not. It was bought up in Les Lettres. If you guys don't know about the French economy, fashion is one of the biggest portions of their economy. It is like finance in New York. It is like film in Hollywood. Les Lettres is an independently financed it's not even a blog, it's an industry magazine, that because most of the luxury goods in France are family run, family owned businesses. It charts the ins and outs, the corpse, that, but because it is big money, it is big business. Fortunes are made and lost on this. They do deep scale investigative reporting. They do not believe in they do not believe in speculation. They do not believe in investigation. I mean, in sponsorships. The only thing, it's something like the Wall Street Journal mixed with like the best investigative team that you've ever seen. Their stuff is super, super thorough. After the news of Jay-Z's lawsuit hit, that's when this basically made front page and had the fashion world of Paris and that big money actually spending. So the Sun wants them, right? The new CEO is like, I never wanted them anyway. Get them out of here. So he's using this as an excuse to get them out of there. That 50-50 contract is so lucrative. If they were to lose it, baby, that's like getting fired from your job. However, okay, what is he doing? Not only is he saying get them out of there, the relationship hasn't been severed. However, I believe, and this is my opinion, that Jay-Z is throwing everything at Tony Buzbee like a banshee, is for two reasons. One, the guy, the new CEO that never wanted them in the first place, has halted all investment into any of their products. That means they will not, any investment means manufacturing, shipping, product placement, promo, anything. He's halting everything. That is huge. That is somebody putting a stop button on a money making cash cow that I would believe significantly increases your fortune. And they put that pause on everything, meaning they're not going to be paid for anything that happens. You know, they're still being paid off of old royalties, but nothing else is going to happen. He's doing that while this litigation is ongoing with Tony Buzbee. So that means as long as Tony Buzbee has this case, Jay-Z and Beyonce, he really is messing with their money. On top of that, and this is just me, I think it's very, very odd. And this is just me. Me. Keep an eye on this though. I think it's very, very, I don't know. All I can say is the fact that he's doing all this with Roc Nation and throwing the thing to make sure that nobody dares raise a word against Roc Nation, it makes me wonder what is going on with Roc Nation. You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Because with Roc Nation, Jay-Z, these accusations were against you personally. They didn't even name Roc Nation as a plaintiff. They didn't name any of your businesses. I'm sorry, as a defendant. They didn't raise any of your businesses. Diddy never made us. This would be like when Diddy got hit with that, him going on Sean John's website, or do they have an Instagram? Sean John's Instagram or Ciroc's Instagram, and being like, we don't fight for victory. We fight from victory. He really thought he had no bars, right? But my point of the matter is that all that was going on in the background. All that is going on in the background. Again, The reason he chose to bring Roc Nation into it, um, the reason he chose to bring Roc Nation into it, I don't know. And it makes me wonder, is there something else happening with Roc Nation that we're going to hear about in a few more months? You know, I'm investigating my little heart out, and I have heard some rumblings, but it's too early to say. All I'll say is it seems like he's fighting for Roc Nation. He's fighting for his legacy. And I'm just wondering what Roc Nation has to look into that. Said, thank you, Maisha. Maisha Shad said, can you look more into Jay-Z's ex-bodyguard, Ron, that was found murked? I 100% will. I'll make I aim to please, mama. Maisha. I'm also next 2025, you guys, I'm going to jump into like a lot of good stuff. And I hope you guys take the journey with me, but just be on the lookout for it because like, oof, I'm like really emboldened. I feel like the universe told me, keep going, keep going. So I'm going to keep going. Also, the Hollywood Reporter article, the link is in the bio. Please give it a read. Let me know what you think. Yeah, YouTube is the future. It is the future. Facing Truth said, he said, thank you so much for all that you do. Anytime, Facing Truth, anytime. All right. And also, anybody that's new to my channel, just know you will get my version of unbiased. You know, I have my ideas of what I think's going on, but I'm always going to report it from all angles because I'll tell you one thing, if you follow my channel, you're never going to be anywhere else talking about this and be caught flat-footed. You're never going to be anywhere else and somebody be like, yo, but I heard this and that. I heard Jay-Z had a good week. And you'd be like, oh, Tisa didn't tell me that. Baby, I know that we're all adults and you guys can handle the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I want to make sure that when y'all are out there educating people about what you know, what you found, what you researched, you know what everyone's doing from the home team to from the home team to the opposition. I never think it serves anyone to just be talking in a circle. We can take in information. We got like, I believe, what is the enemy doing? What's the other team doing? I want to know. Because when you know, also, that's why I also even read, even if I think something is completely BS, I read every motion Diddy's team put out. I read every pro Diddy story. I read everything pro and against, not because I believe it, but I read it because oftentimes when you read the BS that people put out, or when you read the things that people put out, it gives you a insight into their head, what they're thinking, motivation. It lets you know, what are you trying to hide? This don't even make any sense. To me, it puts a like ding, ding, ding. There's something over here you need to look more into. I read everything for good, bad, I don't care. I don't care because the more information you have, the better. Information has never hurt anybody. It's only empowered. So listen, y'all gonna get everything, good, bad, or ugly. Y'all, I don't want y'all sitting there out there talking about, what are you talking about? Tony Buzbee? No, I want someone, if they're just like, girl, Tony Buzbee made a big misstep. I want y'all to have the information so y'all can hit back and be like, yeah, I know, but you know what? Blah, 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 blah. Because, okay, and what that have to do with the price of tea in China? Anyway, that's what's going on. Oh, also, Facing Truth said, Tisa, like you've said, things work until they no longer do. Exactly. Things work until they no longer do. That's the way I am. It works until it no longer does. And then I'm not going to be that person being like, well, it worked in the past. It don't work anymore. We moving on. Here's the thing I do want to say. So all this is going on in the background with Jay-Z. And on top of that, there are forest fires that are happening now. There are forest fires happening right now in Southern California. And Jay-Z and Beyonce's, as of Monday or Tuesday, that whole area, they were forced to evacuate because there's a chance that the fires will sweep over their houses, including their new $200 million house. And Blue Ivy had her Lion King premiere that Jay-Z was on the carpet, and a lot of people called it tone deaf and selfish. I get Beyonce being there with Blue Ivy. I get Mama Tina. I get that. But with Jay-Z being on there, it was a message that they are a family. They are undivided, and they are not going to be scared. However, there was a lot of public backlash around it because people are like, yo, it's your daughter. fine. Blue Ivy looked amazing. No, I don't think she looked too grown. I actually thought she looked really beautiful. And I thought she looked age appropriate. I think if anybody's looking at a 12-year-old like that, there's something wrong with you because, baby, she got the body and the face of a little kid. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, you look cute. It was like a little kid wearing dress up, or when you put a 5-year-old in a belly top, like, okay, like, you're the idiot if you think there's something, like, if you think there's something like jumping off in that. But people were saying that Blue Ivy, it was her moment, and it was overshadowed by Jay-Z on the red carpet. Okay. Now, this was a choice that they said Beyonce made. This is a testament to how powerful Beyonce actually is as an artist. That Disney said that they didn't know what to do. And they deferred to Beyonce and they said, yo, what do you want to do? And Beyonce decided we're going to show up on the carpet as a family and we're going to keep questions lighthearted and we're going to have Blue Ivy have her moment. Now, I will say this, because at this point, I'll say this. If Jay-Z's guilty, that was the most effed up thing you could do, using your daughter's moment as a way to say F you and have a blanking contest with Tony Buzbee. And also, if it was me, because all they wanted to do was enter into mediation, I would have entered into mediation the day before Blue Ivy's premiere. And I would have stayed in mediation for 2 weeks. And then I would have literally in mediation saw how strong the case was, felt it out. And when I had enough information to be like, screw you, I'm out, I would have broke mediation off and said, yeah, I'll see you in court. I would have did that. The fact that he refused to even play that game and humble himself a little bit just so his daughter could have a moment. A lot of people thought that was weird. Okay. I don't know what you guys think, but a lot of people thought it was weird. A lot of people thought that was weird. Now, all right, in this weirdness, there's another set that Buzbee got a case that he admitted he didn't really vet and he's still investigating. And maybe Jay-Z's name got thrown in there. Just hold on. If Buzbee didn't vet and is fluffer and he is found innocent, I can understand why Jay-Z would want to go scorched earth policy. Because I would do more. I would do more. That tower you talking about that you built for $1 billion, that tower be up in flames. I would literally be calling the heavens, Dali, mi amore, Dali, mi amore. I would be calling every ancestor in the world, Dali. I would be calling every ancestor I could to rain down havoc, chaos, and no mercy on you and your entire bloodline. We would have beef like Blade, underworld beef. We would have bloodline beef. We would have bloodline beef, right? So I get it, right? However, the thing that I think that Jay-Z is most worried about is not whether the case moves forward. Because at the end of the day, all this posturing in 8 months, again, watch to see what they do, requesting limited discovery, right? The 90-day response calendar, and then also like literally getting into the Diddy trial and starting to update the judge on what's going on. The trial will go forward. As much as Jay-Z is doing bravado, he can quietly settle 8-9 months from now. And if he paid the right price, he might even get a signed statement saying, we don't know why we said Jay-Z. Oh, well, our eyes are like, when you got money, things will go away. I have said this once and I've always said it. I think, my opinion, that Jay-Z's biggest fear is the money aspect, the ties. And the fact of the matter is, when you look at Jay-Z's age, this has been 30 years ago. American, I've said this a lot, and I can only speak on America, has really grown leaps and bounds into the way we understood consent, sexual harassment, political correctness, and the way that you are allowed to treat someone else between the 90s, 2000s, 2010, and now we're in the, 2024, we're about to be 2025. It has been leaps and jumps. Why is this such a problem? Because Jay-Z, As much as he says he has an impeccable reputation, baby, you were a hoe. You were Jigga Man. We remember when you was like running out of the room with like a bunch of like we remember when there were like women doing ungodly things behind you and you're having an interview with it. What was allowed in the late 90s, early 2000s, even up to I would venture up to 2010 is completely different than what a jury now would find beyond the pale and what a jury would actually accept as, oh, that's just what rap stars do. Now, am I saying that Jay-Z has anything in his closet? Far be it for me to suggest that. What I am saying is, you got, what is that, 20 years? You got 20 years of things, people, places, being grimy, being hove, being Jigga Man, that you literally might be. And also, let's not forget Rockefeller before it came, Roc Nation before. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that happened too. Again, is it illegal? I don't know. I just know that society's thoughts about what was acceptable has changed so much. So I've said this once and I've said it again. His biggest fear is money, right? The fact that after that Blue Ivy thing happened and they went on this whole media campaign, and it seemed like it was working. But even when you go on a media campaign, the people going on it can see what are planted metrics and what the people are actually feeling. And I find it very, very telling that he seemed to be hiding or hidden at Beyonce's halftime performance. Now and again, was he in the booth? Most likely. Did we see him? Absolutely not. We saw Blue Ivy being cute. This ain't Texas. Woo! They don't hold them. So lay your cards down, down, down. We saw Blue Ivy getting it. We saw Beyonce getting it. We did not see high hair, not now one dread, not even a corner of a dread like this. We didn't even see a corner of a dread just sticking out. We didn't even see a corner of a dread. It's, again, very puzzling and very interesting that for all this campaign and all this media thing, the fact that you did not step up. Now, again, it could be as simple as the fact of Beyonce is like, no, baby, this is my business. You ain't go sit in the corner, right? But I don't know about that because they were all on the carpet for Blue Ivy sing, and you know Beyonce loves her babies down. So I don't think that she would throw Blue Ivy's thing away and focus on her super. I think they were equally important. So it makes me think, is what the public feeling really that different from what's being printed, right? And even though I'm not going to lie, I do believe last week, baby, they gave Buzbee the, they literally square, they literally, now again, it was a battle and they got them licks in. Buzbee saying he's going to win the war, but they got their licks in. But it's odd to me that even after getting the licks in, what would be more triumphant than after Beyonce performed, right? Maybe not at maybe what would be like after Beyonce performed, maybe not right after she performed, but come on, you saw the NFL bound down to them. They valued the Roc Nation thing too. When on the Super Bowl screen or whatever, you just see Hove, you know, when he tried to be looking like a displeased Nigerian billionaire, like right? Someone's his glasses just like watching to let us know he is still there. I find it odd as much as the NFL says they support him, as much as Beyonce is like, we'll get through this as a family. Who was MIA on that screen before, after, during? And last time I checked, I don't think he posted anything on his Instagram with pictures of them like actually enjoying it. So again, what's going on? Tony Buzbee isn't backing down. I doubt very much that Tony Buzbee, but he could read le letter, right? Just for you guys to know, how do they make their money? How do they stay unbiased? It is purely subscription based, but you need and this is a discount. One person can get a membership for the year to read Les Lettres for about 1,100. You can get a group deal of 5 people for about 4,400. And if you are an entity with multiple workers, baby, they want buku money. This is not cheap. This is not the National Enquirer. This is hardcore France investigation that regularly rips the faces off of whatever's going on because it's big money. So much so that LVHM, Moet and Chandon's parent company, actually banned any of their employees from ever speaking to Le Latte. That is just how amazing that investigative journalism is. So again, all this stuff is happening in the background. There's a huge media onset about, yeah, Jigga Man. But then Jay-Z is MIA for Beyonce's halftime performance. Again, it could just be because he wanted to give his wife the carpet. But the way he was sitting there defiant on Blue Ivy's carpet, it makes me honestly believe that there's like a little bit more going on than what it seems. But hold on, let me read these super chats and then we're going to get into the rest of the stuff because I have something funny to talk about. Mixed Chick Samantha said, keep going your thing, T said. Shout out to Rim and B. Thank you, Rim. Thank you, B. Alaquandria Glover. Thank you, Alaquandria said, T said, this is blogging in its finest. Awesome job. Oh, thank you, Alaquandra. Corey Irving said, if Tisa Tells can read minds, what do I personally think about political elites and income equality? You think with income elites, Corey, I'm sorry, you think about political elites that they need to be bought to heal. And you think they are directly responsible for income equality. And income equality, you think is what they use to exploit so that the political elites can hold power to serve their masters, which are nothing but corporations, which is the modern day oligarchy. That's what I think you think of, Corey. Also, Myrna Shibley said, Tisa, I know this is out of the conversation here. There's a lot of YouTubers talking about Ali Carter. Will you be getting your hands on that too? You know, I'm focusing on the Blake Lively stuff. I'm focusing on the Jay-Z stuff, the Diddy stuff. I do what I can, but I try to, before I do anything on my platform, to just research it enough to make sure. I don't know. We'll see. Probably not. But listen, I don't know. Listen, whatever anybody else got going on, that's fine. I'm focusing on things that I've researched and that I can actually vet. I will say this, there's a lot of fun things I want to talk about too. And I'm actually starting to expand in 2025. And when I say expand, I'm going to start doing some cute things, right? But I want to grow in 2025. So listen, you guys are always welcome to email me with things that you want me to focus on. Tisa Tells at proton.me. Anything you want me to focus on, you're always welcome to email me and I'll always be there to look into it. Okay. Also, Facing Truth said, thank you for being a member for 6 months. Said Jay-Z is worried for a calculated person such as himself. He is spiraling. Once his chips fall, a lot of people have courage to come forward. I will say one thing, right? You know, when Jay-Z was tweeting off of the Roc Nation account like a Facebook auntie, I actually thought that that was a spiral. Because if you know Roc Nation, they are elite. They are exclusive. I was talking to my girlfriend about this, and she has like a lot of insight into this. She was the one that said, you don't understand how elite, buttoned up, exclusive, grown, but also cool, kind of sexy. They guard their image, and everybody wants to even get into the Roc Nation building. They want to take a picture in the lobby, people in the industry. That's how coveted it is. They are always in charge, always powerful, always in control. That's why it's weird that Jay-Z took control and started just tweeting reckless like he was on his burner account. To me, that gave like, wait a second, what is going on here? And the Diddy-ish, the fact that they said that they aren't really friends, that had me cocking my head to the side too. You know, D Hood Riller said Jay-Z all white NFL Xmas halftime performance. I I get that. Yeah, Rilla 100. Thank you so much. Trishawn said, T said, great live to watch. I'm laying on my couch sick. Oh, no, but possibly a sore throat or something else. Keep doing your thing. Thank you so much, Trishawn. Trishawn, I'm sending healing energy. Ain't nothing like being sick during the holidays. I'll tell you what, though. Listen, I'm sorry you're feeling ill. I thought you was about to say, I'm laying on the couch eating a leftover plate because about 6 years ago, me and my family, usually I would be the one that cooks. And I would always have an attitude when it was over. Cause you know how like everybody's like, yay, and the table's all set, and you come in here like this, and like your makeup's all sweated off and your eyebrows are anywhere. You just be sitting there, and everyone would be like, oh, great mashed potatoes. And you just be looking at them like, shut up, right? So, and I would always know from my charcuterie boards, right? And about 6 years ago, I was like, I ain't cooking nothing else. Like, no, because I literally was fed up, and I was like, yo, from now on, we're going to find the best Chinese restaurant, and we're going to get the banquet and just have a good old time. We're going to eat Christmas dinner. Of course, everybody in the family was like, boo, boo. Like, what you mean we're going to eat at like a Chinese restaurant? And I'm like, yo, we'll get some salt and pepper shrimp, the scallion lobster. We'll get the deluxe banquet. If you ever ate at a Chinese banquet hall with a big round table, I'm like, they have a table that's big enough for all of us, and we can like drip ourselves in food, and it's going to be good. Right. I think it's like the one I wanted to go to at that time was what was that one called? Well, anyway, it don't matter. The point of the matter is, so anyway, right? My family was like, no, forget it. We'll just cook. And I said, okay. And a part of me, like, you know, when you're the one cooking, you're just like, no, but are you going to make this right? Are you going to make this right? But I said, you know what? Whatever. And I literally, and after that, I never cooked it. I now realize how good holiday food tastes when somebody else is in the kitchen slaving. And you sitting up there doing your thing, laughing, joking, looking for the Monopoly board games. And then they say it's time to come eat. And you sit down and you grab them rolls and get them yams. There is nothing yummier than that in the world. There's just nothing yummier than that. So I hope everybody didn't cook and had the family. And Trishan, I hope you get better. Also, YM Droid said, exactly. Regardless of veracity, Jay is grimy for not holding back until after Blue's premiere. Did notice yesterday she was wearing her wedding ring. Listen, she's sending signals that she stands by her man, but yet and still, what NAM photo, camera, image, whatever, it lets me know that this PR campaign that they're waging is not as effective as they would like us to believe, or as effective as the articles would like us to believe. So for that, it should be cause to worry, because if it was effective, and if they did think that no one believed anything about Tony Buzbee, and if there was nothing coming behind it, or even anything weird with Roc Nation, I'm guessing, because why else would you get Roc Nation involved? He would have been standing there like the king of his castle. So much for being a member for 9 months. And Corey Irving, thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Corey. Did I read your mind? I'm just saying, did I? Anyway, listen, at the end of the day, I think that if he was in a very victorious thing, and if the public was swallowing this, I think 100% he would have showed himself on the NFL screen. Again, the Carters literally have a lot of things at the door right now. What's going on in France? What's going on with Buzbee, right? They have that right now. What's going on? They got the forest fires, even though the forest fires, that's just God's will. You can't really do anything about that, right? Even though this is 2024, I know they can't wait to see 2025 coming, right? So I think that at the end, and Antonio, thank you so much, girl. I'm gonna look into that. But listen, here's the thing. I don't believe the NFL asked them to stay behind the scenes. The NFL came out and said, we support him 100%. They still have that contract with Live Nation. The NFL actually needs Live Nation. The viewership for the NFL Super Bowls have spiked tremendously, especially for the halftime shows while Jay-Z Roc Nation took over. Because of that, that means the ad dollars are through the roof. It's like when y'all watch me, I don't ever need anybody to fund me. When you guys watch me, I get ad dollars from it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to pay sponsorships or payouts or this and that. Like, when you get ad dollars, right? It goes through the roof. They have been making buku money off of Jay-Z. Jay-Z has a lot of power with the NFL. Do you know how much power he had? The fact that the NFL trotted out and said, yo, we stand by him. They didn't have to do that. They could have stayed quiet. I believe that Roc Nation was like, yo, get out there and show your support to me. And they said, okay, right away, Mr. Carter. Again, Jay-Z and Beyonce are very, very powerful. Jay-Z is very powerful. His connections are powerful. He has done the Super Bowl. I don't think the Super Bowl told him to stay behind the scenes. I think it was their choice to stay behind the scenes. I think it was their choice to stay behind the scenes. Or it was Jay-Z's choice to stay behind the scenes. Again, the Super Bowl threw them and this they threw their support behind Jay-Z even before Tony Buzbee did that misstep that got that girl out there. Before that happened, before NBC Gate happened, okay? The NFL was 100% on. This is a coalition that they had to help free people in prison and do all this stuff. They call it the Reform Alliance bill, right? Alliance board is composed of influential figures, including Jay-Z, Michael Rubin, Meek Mill, Robert Kraft, Robert Smith, and others. They have a strong network and will go to great lengths to protect one another. Robert Kraft has a lot of power. Y'all know who Robert Kraft is. Baby, even I know who Robert Kraft is, and I don't even follow sports like that. The point of the matter is, there's a lot of people around. Y'all remember when Robert Kraft was caught in that sting for massage parlors that have been suspected of sex trafficking, and the billionaire Robert Kraft, Meek Mill's kind benefactor, was caught in that sting? I mean, far be it for me to suggest that he was frequenting a known sex trafficking hangout. He just happened to be going there for a massage and got caught in the sting. He didn't know. He didn't know. He didn't know. All right. He didn't know. In any case, y'all, listen, I think at the end of the day, I think at the end of the day, I think at the end of the day, I think it is really a good thing. Um, no, who said this? No, I'm not using my friend's real name. Shut up. I will use aliases as y'all like that name don't even sound believable. I will use aliases as I want. Anyway, y'all, that's an alias y'all gonna have to stick with. Anyway, I will say that listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is. They are protected by very, very powerful people who do very, very, very powerful things, who are involved in very weird things. Again, to me, it does appear, my opinion, that Jay-Z is defending himself because he doesn't want that dam to break. We saw what happened when Diddy's dam broke and all hell came. There was raids, there was grand jury, an impaneled grand jury. There were a bunch of civil suits coming, and it all happened drip, drip, drip. Now, I don't know what Jay-Z was doing 20 years ago. I was never in that scene. Y'all know me. I stay corny, laid up with my man and my family, and that's it, right? That's my whole life. I live a very boring life. However, um, if he has things to worry about, it would seem like he's trying to do the ultimate defense so that that little crack that Buzbee may have thrown doesn't fracture and the whole dam unleash. Okay. The only issue is right now is the PR campaign appear to be working, but when you run a PR campaign, you see the internal figures. You see, like, it's like when you pay for likes, right? You see the fake likes versus the real likes, right? Or advertisers can. It just makes me think by him not showing his face, they're not as certain that it's working as much as it should be. And a lot of this stuff is people recirculating it because they want interviews. They want to be invited to the next Sacred Hair launch. They want this. They want that. You know, they want to be in good with Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spurl. Again, these are very powerful people that can make or break someone's career if you need their help. You see what I'm saying? If you're in entertainment, fashion, music, sports, if you need their help, okay, there's a lot. So I get it why there are a lot of people trying to stay on their good side, hoping that they can curry favor later. But again, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. And the way that he is now hidden, and we didn't even see a photo shoot, we didn't see any reference. And the NFL is already kissing Jay-Z's butt. So I don't think it's the NFL, just like Disney gave Beyonce that power. I really honestly think that whatever's going on, it's not as successful as they'd like us to believe. Again, the lawsuits they're throwing at Tony Buzbee, if you know anything about legal, we're going to have to see what wash out. Tony Buzbee says they're all lies. They said, no, they're not. We're going to see what has to play out in court. Tony Buzbee's lawsuits, he threw back at them, I think, are just as, if not more damaging, because they are officers of the court and they have a higher standard to go at. So we'll see what happens in those lawsuits. And again, Tony Buzbee has to respond to these lawsuits. Jay-Z has to respond to these lawsuits. In the response to the lawsuits, we will have to get, but you know, you can rest assured that when we get the response to the lawsuit, okay, that's when we'll actually see what is what. Again, these trials are going to be coming up very, very soon. A lot of serious allegations. Listen, we're going to do a deep dive into actual Roc Nation, what's going on, and the structure behind Roc Nation. You guys, thank you so much for the clues. And yes, I do reserve the right to change names at random to protect the innocent. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Listen. At the end, listen. Again, probably reps or lawyers ask that. I get what you're saying, Brandy. I really honestly disagree. I feel like Jay-Z has more power than we are giving him credit for. And I'm telling you, even the way he's unleashed hell with Buzbee, he has more power, pull, and respect than we give him credit for. You know what I'm saying? Listen, at the end, exactly. Lisa Joe, CEO of the NFL. Yeah, listen, at the end of the day. Anyway, listen, you guys, a lot of news coming in. They are saying that, again, Jay-Z doesn't want to show his face. They won the battle last week. Let's be real. They did win that battle last week, but the war is still waging. And it looks like even though they won that battle, right, publicly for the PR and the headlines, it looks like there's a lot of casualties that even though we can't see, they see it. And by Jay-Z not showing his face, that shows that they are not in a position of strength. I get Beyonce had her wedding ring, and that's cool, right? She already said she's standing by him. But baby, if Jay-Z could be there in the box looking, you know, he does that sneer, looking like just watching, he 100% could have. I think this was their call and they chose to keep him behind the scenes. And the compromise was that Beyonce would be wearing her wedding ring. That's my opinion. Okay. That's my opinion. Y'all could be right. Y'all could be right. Y'all could be right. Right. Listen, and all that said, yes, I did watch Beyonce perform. Part of me was looking to be like, hold on, they gonna cut the J. But the other part of me is like, ooh, right? Doing the cowboy Carter shimmy. Anyway, y'all. Also, YM Joy said, notice how the judge topped out on those emergency motions. Oh, tapped out on those emergency motions. So he was like, you don't have an emergency. I'll get to it after dessert. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Even with the slew of lawsuits, the judge was like, yeah, I'll get to you after that because we got to go. even tapping out after that. The judge said, yo, it's like, y'all, this can wait until after the holidays. That said, y'all, I'm going to do all the legal docs. Tony Buzbee has to respond to each and every lawsuit, and I can't wait for the response. And Jay-Z and Quinn Emanuel have to respond to Tony Buzbee's lawsuit that he's saying that Roc Nation did blah, 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 blah. They have to respond, y'all. It is going to be a busy January. There are so many lawsuits coming down. And honestly, you guys, all I'm saying is keep an eye on what's happening with Roc Nation. I'm telling you, just keep an eye. Keep an eye on what's happening with Roc Nation. Just remember, you heard it here first. All right. Just remember, you heard it here first. Hey, Nikki, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Listen, M's right. M said, God will always have the last words. Power to the Almighty. That's true. That's true. But the thing is, sometimes when you're talking to Diddy's, you got to ask, well, what God you speaking of? That's all I'm saying. Nikki, I love your Abby. Those sunglasses is sitting. Listen, if sometimes you got to ask people in 2025, you got to be like, well, hold up. What God do you pray on? You know, I just assume what God we talking about? Like or down there. That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. Literally, but next time I say all praises due to God, look at them and be like, right? And if they go, you know that. That's all I'm saying. Listen. Oh, my email is tisatels@proton.me. Hold on, let me make sure. I think it's proton.me or proton.mail. Hold on. Yeah, it's tisatels@proton. What is this? Oh, I just got a package delivered. Okay. What is this? Anyway, I was just ordering up a storm this Christmas. Somebody needs to take over my phone. Oh, I was purchasing a storm. I'm still getting packages in. Anyway, y'all, listen. Anyway, y'all, listen, celebrity worship is idol worship. That's why I want to say for everybody worried about it. And Nikki, thank you so much. Baby, listen. Welcome to my channel. The link to the Hollywood Reporter write-up is in there. I am so proud that 3.5 years, going on 4 years of hard work. It'll be 4 years in April 15th. That's when I first posted 4 years ago on April 18th. So it'll be it's 3.5 years now. It'll be 4 years when we hit April. I'm so proud that like the work is going somewhere, and I'm going to do my best to make you guys proud. I will say though, right, that celebrity worship is idol worship. And this ain't even on some religious stuff. I think the one takeaway we can take up from this Jay-Z thing that it will never not be funny to me is the defense that he used to me was the thing that I was just like, wow, we don't know these people. We don't. We don't know how much they love themselves, how much they love each other, how much they love their. And I'm not just talking about Beyonce and Jay-Z. I'm talking about any celebrity. We don't know them. Everything, most likely from the way they smile to the way they sit to these friendships and this, that, it's all carefully crafted. It's all orchestrated. Jay-Z let us know that when he said, oh, I don't even know Diddy like that. We just associate. Now, some people think he's just lying, but it's also to the point of if you are telling the truth, you let us know you just manipulated and exploited everybody into thinking that this fantasy that everyone wanted to see is real. We do not know these celebrities. They pay hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. The talent agencies pay millions a year just for PR images and crafting to actually come out. So because we don't know any of these people, we just know the way we see ourselves, or if you want to idolize them, or if you like the song, then when it comes out to believing them versus a victim, I don't know either one of you, but I know the victim don't got any money. And I know the victim went through alleged trauma. And I know that you're billionaires. And if you're not billionaire, you a millionaire. And I know that you can defend yourself and you will defend yourself. So in that type of case, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to believe the victim. Because I know another thing too, as much as people say, oh, that you did that, they can just do this. People in America, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it is very rare for people to come out publicly against a huge, big name and said that they were essayed. It's just very rare. People can do it, but if it was that much of a con, more people would do it. It's very, very rare that people come out and do that. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. It's how I feel. Also, LaDoya Life and Style said, Happy holiday, Tisa, and continue your updates. I most certainly will. Listen, this is going to be a heavy upload day. I just got some really good tea, but it's a little funny one. It's Kardashian news. It's funny. We also have that. And if I can, I'll go live later about Dame Dash. If not, I'll throw a video up. But keep checking. Turn your notifications on. Baby, you know how it is. Bum, 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 bum. We going back to back with the uploads today. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everyone. And no matter what you celebrate, right? I hope that you guys were close to your loved ones. And if for whatever reason you couldn't be, just know that you guys are loved on this channel. I am definitely going to do a celebration when I reach 500K. And I'm going to do my best I can to zhuzh up the channel and give you guys what you need and what you guys like. Okay. You already know I'm uploading every day. I got the consistency down to give you all that quality that you've been begging for. All right. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.